I might look dumb with these sunglasses inside, but I have a headache and they kind of help. Let's talk about alcohol. I think alcohol makes me cooler and I do not like that. However, I have basically always been the friend that is a boom and that doesn't really drink. Like, I can go out from midnight to 6 a.m. and just drink a soda and I'll be fine. I'm the driver of the group. I don't feel like I need to drink alcohol to have fun. And I also just feel like spending a lot of money on alcohol when you go out makes you want to go out less times because then you don't want to be spending that money. I'm going to be referencing my phone in this video for a few times because I have some data that I retrieved because I kind of started writing my thoughts for this video and I started being very curious about something, so I searched them up and now I want to talk about them as well. I'm kind of afraid that you guys will click out of the video because you're like, you're a nerd, I don't care about what you're saying, but at the same time, if you click this video, you're probably a little bit interested in hearing my thoughts on it. You've probably already questioned your use of alcohol as well, so I'm just gonna be saying everything I want to say, even though I still feel like I'm in high school and people might judge me for being an outlier. You know that feeling when you're like, maybe I shouldn't say these things because it won't make me cool. Alcohol is super normalized. But I went and saw some statistics and I think every year around 3 million people die due to alcohol related issues like car accidents, health issues, yada yada. And 3.5 million people die every year of drugs. So the difference is not that big. However, one is legal and completely normalized, and if someone drinks a drink, no one judges them, but another, like all the other drugs, because alcohol is still a drug, all the other drugs are pretty much illegal and people are judged by doing them, as they should. When I drink, I get pretty much the same sensation everyone else does. I get more fun, my overthinking kind of slows down, I become less awkward and less socially awkward, or at least my perception of myself is less socially awkward. I am less worried about if my dance moves look cool or not, and that is fun. Also, I want to start saying this in the beginning of all my videos here, but I'm not competing for your attention on this channel, not because I don't want you to watch the video through the end, but because my full-time job is actually video editing for other YouTubers and for my other YouTube channel, and so I spend my whole day trying to edit for engagement, and on this channel I just want to have a conversation. Like, just go do your laundry while I talk. I don't care. Alcohol doesn't connect you to your real you. Alcohol disconnects you from your real you. And you may argue, well, why should I care if I'm connected to the real or not real you? If I'm being it, it's real, so there's not a real and not real you. But alcohol, like scientifically, something in your brain happens that I'm not gonna scientifically explain because I don't know the explanation, but it does shut off a part of your brain, so it's taking something from you. It's not adding something in you. Think about this as eating a steak, and you order the steak, and then the steak comes with like 5 sauces on top of it. There comes a point where you're not eating steak, or the steak doesn't taste as much as steak as it tastes like the sauces you put on it. But then it makes you a sauce. You're not a steak anymore. Alcohol is like a real life cheat code, and I'm guessing you don't want to live a short, drunken life. So if you cannot live 24/7 using the cheat code, isn't it best if you practice living without the cheat code instead of sometimes doing a cheat code and then having to come back to reality, dealing with a hangover? So yeah, if you cannot live every single day of your life, unless, again, you want to live a very short and unhealthy life, using the cheat code, shouldn't you start practicing the game instead of applying the cheat code again and paying money to apply the cheat code? Because alcohol, again, costs money. I personally love when people around me are drunk. Like, let me specify. I personally love when I go out at night and people start getting tipsy. Not drunk. People start getting tipsy and I'm not drinking, because then I kind of get drunk out of their drunkenness. Because they're acting tipsy, I start acting tipsy even though I haven't drank anything. And that is the best of both worlds, because they're probably not going to remember super well what you did, So you can do what you want, you didn't spend money, and you're not gonna wake up with a hangover, and it's amazing. Funny enough, when I was doing my research, I realized that Gen Z is actually much more against alcohol or reducing their alcohol consumption compared to previous generations. Maybe it's the friend group I'm in, but I do not notice that. I have a few sober friends that have never drank, have no curiosity in drinking, or stopped drinking. But I feel like the ones who do drink quite a lot. I just hate the fact that everyone basically starts drinking, and because it's legal, we never actually search what alcohol does to you. Like, we all know that you get a hangover, that you can achieve a point where you don't remember what you did. We don't even know like why it hurts you because it's so normal. Like, you go and have dinner with your grandparents and they give you a glass of wine. I'm not saying the glass of wine is a problem, okay? I just thought this would be an interesting topic to dissect. But here are a few things that because I was like, what does even alcohol do to you? Like, I have never even searched that. So let me pick up some facts that Mr. Google told me. Number one, regular alcohol consumption can lead to tolerance, which means you used to drink 5 beers, and now in order to feel the feeling you felt when you had 5 beers, because your body has become accustomed to that, you need to drink like 10 beers. Alcohol is a diuretic, which means that it increases urine production, leading to dehydration, which is why then you have like a dry mouth and you can have a headache and whatever. It can help people fall asleep faster, but it helps disrupt the sleep cycle, reducing your REM sleep, which is the period when you're sleeping, when you're like actually fully deep sleeping, leading to poor sleep quality. And did you know that the liver actually only metabolizes alcohol at a rate of about 1 standard drink per hour? Liver, I thought you were stronger than this. Now, this whole thinking made me realize that we all humans have this thing in common, which is we feel secretly very good when we feel like we're rebelling and when we're doing something wrong. Like, there's things that when we know we're doing wrong, we feel guilty even before we do them, and we feel anxiety. But these little rebel things that we do in our day-to-day life, even if it is smoking a cigarette or drinking a drink, or when you were a kid and you were trying to sneak out something out of the house without your parents knowing, it makes us feel this like adrenaline pop. And so I think when we grow up, we're still searching for those feelings of rebellion because they kind of make us feel cool. Then there's patterns in which actions we choose to get that feeling from, and most adults probably choose the same range of things to do, like smoking, like drinking, like lying even. Some are seen as cool, and some are seen as self-harming and as self-destructive. But is that categorization made on how they actually, like what they actually do to our lives? Or is it just a cultural thing? Like, smoking in some countries, smoking tobacco is super normal, but then it's illegal to drink. Something that really frustrates me, and you've probably come to one of these situations in your life, is when there's a friend group, one of the persons doesn't drink and a new person enters the friend group and sees that the other person doesn't drink, they're always like, oh, why don't you drink? Like, why did you stop drinking? Why don't you drink? But we never question to the people that drink, why do you drink? And that's normal, because we usually don't make questions about the things that we see the most. We make questions about the things that are rare, because those are the ones that make us curious. The thing is, it has happened to me when then the person that doesn't drink answers the question and then asks the other person back, why do they drink? And I usually find that the people that don't drink have good, solid, rational reasons for it, and then the people who drink are kind of like, something that there isn't much awareness for. Not in my generation, not in previous generations, which is not knowing what alcoholism is. And so a lot of people might have friends that are alcoholics in your friend group, but they don't know that they're alcoholics, because people who has drugs every day is a drug addict, but a person who has alcohol every day is not an alcoholic. Not saying that everyone that drinks alcohol every day is an alcoholic, but it's always been funny to me how the two things are seen as separate. Because alcohol is a chronic disease, alcoholism, and we don't treat it as a chronic disease. Like, alcoholism is like diabetes. Like, you did not choose to be an alcoholic. Like, you chose to drink, but it's your body. So Maya got more curious, and Maya went into another wormhole of facts. So alcoholism is recognized as a chronic disease similar to diabetes or heart disease. You can be born with a higher risk of developing alcoholism. Chronic alcohol can alter the brain's structure and function, and these changes can persist long after someone stops drinking. There's a lot of, just like we have a lot of high-functioning depressed people in our society, there's a lot of high-functioning alcoholics in our society, which means they're sick, but they are able to still be productive and do their work, and so it's like camouflaged. And alcohol withdrawal can be life-threatening and includes symptoms like seizures, hallucinations, and DTs, which means that in order to detox, an alcoholic might need medical supervision. No one freaking talks about this. No one. Not even in movies. So my goal with this video was not to make everyone adopt this perfect lifestyle and no one drinks. It's just, I have this very boring, simple, plain way to look at health, which is balance. Like, when the seeds trend was going on and everyone was putting seeds on their smoothies, some people had to go to the hospital because they had like their kidneys weren't being able to filtrate all the seeds well enough or something, which is just an example of how we think something is good, and so then we start doing it every day and we start putting it in everything, and that is not the point. The point is moderation. Like those parents that don't let their kids do anything, and if their kids like touches the floor, they're already like sanitizing their hands and, you know, everything's super clean. Like, those kids will grow up with like a very poor immune system, so they're actually gonna get sicker more frequently. I'd love to hear your thoughts about alcohol. I love for you guys to just chat with each other and with me. I thought this was a cool topic to bring today because actually Emma Chamberlain did a podcast episode about this, I'm not even gonna lie, and it made me think, and so I was like, let me continue the conversation. So yeah, I'm curious about what your thoughts are. I need to go to my appointment now and get dressed. Hope I didn't look like a cringy worm with this hoodie and sunglasses, but that's all I have for you today. Bye.